Good morning and welcome to the Blue Fern Yarn Podcast. My name is Shannon and I am coming to you from Norwich in Norfolk, where I live with my partner Tom and my cat Bennett. We've got quite a few things to sort of share this time, and not all of it was shown last time. I've had a little bit of a cast on party. So yeah, we'll kind of get into it. So on the main screen you would have seen where you can find me. So I am Blue Fern Yarns on pretty much all social media. So that's Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and also on Ravelry if you want to find me on there. What else? I'm also on Patreon. And that is a very new thing that's been going for about a month now, and I'm very, very excited by it. If you would like to head on over to Patreon and join, or find out what it's all about, there will be all links and everything in the sort of down bar below. And I'm looking at my trusty notes. I wanted to mention that I run a continuous make along, and it goes all the way through the year, year on year, and it will be one that I will continue as long as I am dyeing yarn, basically. So yeah, it's just the Blue Fern Yarns FOs. There is a hashtag for Instagram, and I'll pop that on the screen. All details will also be below. You can also join via Ravelry if you like, and you can double dip into other giveaways, anything like that. It's entirely up to you. You can put your project on both Ravelry and Instagram if you want. So the rules are that you use 50% or more of Blue Fern yarns in a single project. So for example, if you use two skeins, one of them's Blue Fern yarns, one of them's someone else's, that can be entered into the giveaway. Once a quarter, I will then tally up all the entries and pick a winner at random. It is open worldwide. Anyone can enter if you would like. And yeah, that's it. It's just a bit of fun. Unfortunately, I do not have the time to sit and knit every type of project that's out there. There are so many beautiful patterns. And I just wanted a chance to see sort of what you're working on or what you're using my yarns for. And also, quite often I get a lot more projects or to want to makes added to my to-do list because there are some fantastic ones out there, and I love just seeing what you're using the yarns for, basically. So the next draw for that one will be on the 1st of April. It will probably be drawn just after the 1st because I will be at a yarn show on the 1st of April. And winners will be announced on the podcast here. So do make sure you are subscribed and watching. And yeah, that's basically what it is. So yeah. Literally, I feel really out of practice, even though I've done a little episode every couple of weeks so far, or every month so far. Well, so far this year, we're only on month 3, so we'll see if we can continue it throughout the year. I mean, this is not just a notebook, this is my place where I drop everything on the floor. No, this is actually my planner, and I have in my monthly plans, if I can find one for you, I'm going to just show you February because it's there. There are plans, and I have planned a podcast every month this year. Whether I stick to it or not, I don't know. But yes, I love my little journal. If you want to see more about it, let me know and I'll share it. So what am I wearing? I am wearing my painting honeycomb shawl. I will take it off just to show you, but I'll need to put it back on again because it is quite cold. So this is the Painting Honeycomb Shawl by Stephen West. and I created a kit for this one because there was lots of people asking for it basically, and there will be more kits coming to various shows with me throughout the year. You can get the kit in the original colours that I've got here, or there are some make your own versions of kits that will be coming with me to the various shows. And if I can, I will pop a few of the various ones up in the shop. Basically, there will be loads of mini skeins across the stand that you can then pick up a fair few of them, pop them in a box, and basically 100 gram skein to create this one for the main colour, which is the bit that makes the little honeycombs pattern. I don't know what you call it. Yeah, so you can make your own kits out of colours that you would like. It is entirely up to you. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what colours you pick and things like that. This one, just to say, because he does 2 painting honeycomb shawls, you've got the painting honeycombs small and you've got the painting honeycombs big. So this is the big one, and what that refers to is the size of the honeycomb. So the size of the honeycomb is quite big on here, I think you can see, and on the smaller one, obviously it's a lot smaller. So that just means that you just have a smaller honeycomb, and the way they're created is very different as well. So this one, you start with this long edge here, so just along here. I'm not going to take it off again because it's too cold. And then you work your way down to get smaller. With the small honeycombs, you start with the small end and get bigger. And it's a very enjoyable pattern. It's fairly quick. A lot of it is just slip stitches, which is what that is. So I think that if you can knit and you can purl and you can slip stitches and the occasional increase, you can totally make this. It's fairly easy. Yeah, I really enjoyed this knit, and actually I have been looking at my yarn stash to possibly make another one. We shall see. But yes, hopefully I will be making another one. I cannot remember, did I say it's by Stephen West? Yeah, I love a Westknits pattern. Anyway, what have we got going on? So we've got a couple of finished objects. We have got 3 whips, 1 plan project, and just some show news, and also a little bit of shop news. Not much this time, just a little bit. So yeah, so we'll dive straight in. So I'm going to go on to finished objects. So this is a project that you will see throughout the year, to the point where you may get a bit bored of it, but hopefully not. It's living in my lovely Eldenwood craft bag by Emma. She has got this beautiful fabric. Sorry, we've been joined by Bennett. Hold on, come on. Are you gonna say hello? Yeah, I don't think everyone wants to see your bum. So we've been joined by Bennett. Oh, you a bit sleepy? I think he's been a bit sleepy. So, in fact, I'm going to share it. I will shift over a little bit. There, I'll pop a picture up. Basically, he has found what I call my knitting washing box. Basically, it's all my hand knits that then get put into this box that need washing. Can I have my hand back? No? Okay. Yeah, so basically any of my hand knits or crochets or anything like that goes into that box when it needs washing, basically. And with that, I then just wash them when the box is full, or when I can be bothered, more often than not. And because it was empty, because I've done a lot of show prep, I've taken out all the samples so I can make sure they're all clean and ready to show off. Someone's found the box, and I think he's going to try and claim it. You're going to make podcasting a lot more difficult than it needs to be. You are. You don't care, do you? It's just the wind, buddy. Yeah, I don't know what it's like where you are, but usually as a British podcaster, we quite often talk about the weather. So it is very, very grey out there, and as my nan would say, it's blowing a hoolie. It is really, really windy. It is, yeah, it's just very noisy. So I don't know if you can hear it, but every now and again it spooks him because he's my little pansy, aren't you? Okay, so start again, shall we? He did want food, so that's what he's got. But anyway, he might come back again, who knows. So let's start with finished objects, shall we? So this is my year-long project that's sitting in my Eldenwood craft bag by Emma. This fabric is stunning. It's still one of my favourite bags. In fact, I think it's probably always going to be one of my favourites. But anyway, so this is my year-long project. And if you have watched the last podcast, you will know that I am making a box of socks for Tom this year. And I have finished my February sock. So yay! I'm very excited. So he's now got officially a pair of socks. So Tom likes odd socks. So he's going to get a box of odd socks at the end of the year. So he'll have 6 new pairs, and all of them will be odd. So yeah, this is January's, and then you've got February's. And I'm going to skip a few steps because this is the next plan project, which I have not even started yet, is I've got Marches. So if you've... okay. I'm going to go with it anyway. So we've got March's colour. So I've not shared this on my Instagram grid or anything yet. So this is Daffodils. And then you've got the mini contrast that goes with it. So, oh, I love this. Lots of bright, different tonal yellows in there. And you've got a few orangey, browny speckles. Oh, I love it. So, I need to cast this on, but Tom's been around a lot and he keeps finishing work really early the last week. So that's why I haven't kind of cast it on yet. So I feel like I'm probably going to fall behind, but he will have a March sock at some point. I've got until the end of the year to do it, so it's fine. But yeah, January's and February's. So I'll just go a little bit closer. So these are February's colours. Oh, I love them. Oh, I love them. And it's, do you know what? It's actually really nice to make just one sock in a colour and then move on to the next one and see it like paired together like that. I just think that's so much fun. I think it's so much fun. Anyway, but yeah, so with his box of socks, he is getting the same pattern. Sorry, I've got a Bennett hair here. The same pattern on every sock. So he's got, I think it's 15 rounds of 1x1 twisted rib. He recently told me that he likes the really long ribbing socks, and I'm like, I'm not going back and ripping it all out to do it again. So he's stuck with this now. So he's got 1x1 twisted rib for 15 rounds. He's got a number of rounds for the leg, and then he's got heel flap and gusset, and then obviously just works down to a wedge toe. They're not blocked. They will be blocked before I gift them to him. So yeah, I don't really want to block them now because I don't want him to see them now. If he sees them closer to the time, it's fine. But I just don't want him to see them now. So anyway, that's a finished object. So I'm counting that as a finished object, even though it's only one sock. So I have got another finished object, and I probably should put it on a hanger because it would probably show off a bit better. But anyway, so this is a mostly sample knit, but I finished off a little bit as well. So my lovely mum, she has been working on this for a little while, and I'm going to put all the size details and everything down below because she's had it for such a long time. I cannot remember what size I asked her to make for me. And I know it was one of the smaller sizes because it is a very oversized project. So this is the Elton cardigan by Joji Locatelli. So, I don't know, I think you can just about see that it is striped with Suri silk and just a normal 4-ply yarn. This is amethyst, and I've used both amethyst in the Suri silk and the 4-ply yarn, which is my platinum base. And yeah, I really love it. I love this. I'm gonna try it on, and I will, in fact, I'm gonna insert some video here, so and I'll try it on. It is gorgeous. It is so soft. It is so light as well. I think I weighed this, and I'm pretty sure it was like 100. Let's have a look. Yeah, so it was about 162 grams in total, which, do you know what, that is so light for a cardigan. Hopefully you will have seen what it looks like. I'll have popped that before, but just a bit of a close-up so you can see it. It is a lightly variegated colourway, so you can see you've got some pale bits, you've got some darker bits, and yeah, so I say it's a part sample knit, part finished object for me. My mum did the majority of it, so she's done all the body, she's done the sleeves. That's the back of it so you can see it a bit better. She did the sleeves, and she did one side of the button band. And then I wasn't getting it for a while, so we did a bit of a trade-off. She's going to finish her Whitmore sleeves, and I was going to do the button band. So that's what we did. And I think, let me just see if I can find it. Yeah, so she's done this side, and then I've just done the other side and the neckband. Let's see if I can hold it up properly. So yeah, so it's kind of a part and part, and we worked on it together. It's quite nice to say. Although she did the majority of the work. But yeah, so that will be coming with me to various shows in the future. Looking forward to slightly warmer weather so I can actually wear it a bit more. Although because it is Suri alpaca, it will keep me quite warm, I can imagine, because alpaca is very warming. I don't use mohair, and I know a lot of people do use mohair, and I'm pretty sure that the pattern actually calls for mohair. I don't use mohair because it irritates my skin, but the Suri alpaca is not a problem at all. Yeah, if you like fluffy yarns but you find that you can't use mohair, try Suri alpaca. Yeah, it is definitely one of the ones that I would recommend trying, and it's so soft, and it's so, I don't know if you can see it, it's a 4-ply and lace, and it's so squidgy. I'm not sure if you can see that or not, but it's so squidgy, and oh, I can't wait to wear it. Hopefully you'll have seen a little bit of a video of me wearing it as well. If not, I will definitely put in a clip here. Yeah, I love this. And it was only blocked and dried, well, it was dried this morning, it was blocked yesterday. And I didn't do any aggressive blocking or anything like that. I just laid it out flat, didn't even pin it because, well, basically I'm hoping I'm going to be wearing it for most of my shows, but my body will block the rest of it. On to whips. I have got a couple of whips I want to show you. There are 1, 2, 3. I keep looking over there because that's where I've popped my notes. So there are 3 whips that I want to show you. One of them is living half in and half out of a bag because I was too lazy to find one of my bigger bags. But anyway, so this is my project bag from Ellie at Craft House Magic. I think it's her medium size. I'm pretty sure it's her medium size. And it's just got a zipper with a little bit of ribbon on the end, which is pretty cute. Yeah, I don't know what else to tell you, but yeah, so Craft House Magic, there's her little label just there, or a little stamp, and it's quite a big bag. You've got like a couple of like big pockets in here. Got my really bad swatch. Anyway, so, and I've got quite a bit to say about this project, so hopefully you'll stick with me. So I have done quite a bit of it, and it's all my yarns. All of the yarns are DK Platinum, which is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. And I say that they're sort of scraps. They mostly come from the November palette sets. And I don't know why, but I'd managed to dye lots of November ones. And then when I was looking for a project, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I went through all the DK minis and was just like playing around with some of the colours. And then I came up with like a stripe pattern. I was like, oh my god, I'm going to have to do that. So then I went and found a stripy pattern. I haven't got it printed, but hopefully you guys will have seen it before. If I remember, I will pop a picture up towards the side as well. So it is the Stripes pattern by Andrea Mowry. Her pattern calls for a sport weight yarn, and although I do have a sport weight yarn, I didn't have any of it dyed up in these colours that I decided I wanted to use, basically. So what I did is I did a swatch. I did not get gauge, but my mum had helped me work out basically how I could get the jumper I wanted from the swatch I'd made, basically. So I ended up going up half a needle size, using a DK weight yarn, and also knitting a slightly smaller jumper. What I will do is I'll put a lot more of the details in the down bar below. I think I'm also going to do a blog post about this, not to sort of share the pattern because it is a paid for pattern, but to explain what I did differently. So here it is so far. So this is the Stripes pattern by Andrea Mowry. I am still quite nervous that this is going to be a bit more of a snug fit, which I don't really like really tight snug fit things, but you know, it happens, right? So yeah, so this is what I've got. So you can see that the majority of the colours come from the November set. So this one is Silent Night, which did come from November. Did it come from November? Yes, it did come from November, sorry, I completely spaced then. This one is from November but didn't get a name. This one's from November. This one is from the Snow and Wells sock set mini that I did. This was like, I did a couple of test minis on them. This is ink. This is November's colour as well. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of November's minis, and then 2 extras. So you've got ink and then a mini skein there. So the pattern with the stripes does just keep going. And what's really annoying, so I have whizzed through this, I've really enjoyed this. I think, like self-striping socks, you're really excited to get onto the next colour. I think I just got really excited that I just wanted to sort of work on this. I haven't picked up much else, at least until I got to the bottom, and I'll tell you the problem of why I got to the bottom and then stopped. But yeah, so I haven't worked on much else. I'm really happy with how the colours work together. Yeah, really happy with it. I think it's going to end up being short sleeves, because the minis that I've got left are practically... I've got a few of one colour, so these are the paler blue. I don't think they're that far off. Yeah, they're not that far off true to colour. I've got another one of the yellow, and I've got a little bit of scrap for the yellow as well. And I've got another scrap for the yellow. I have literally been using them to the point where there is next to nothing left to use up as much as possible. We've got a couple more on ink, which, you know, is ink. But yeah, I'm down to like the last. So that's the last of Silent Night. It's about right there. And then that's the last of, well, I've got loads of that light one left, but there's this one. This is the last bit that's left. I'm hoping I will get one more stripe out of that, but anyway. Yeah, some of these I cannot dye again. It's my dye company who have altered their recipe, meaning that I can't get the same colours, and I got very close yesterday because I keep testing to see if I can create the colour myself. I'm just not there. But with the brown, you can see that I didn't pull out any of the brown because I'd run out of this one. I have got to do 2 more rounds of this brown before I can then go on to this lighter blue again. And I am so frustrated that I got that far and all I've got left is this. Like literally, that is all I've got left. That will probably get me like maybe half a round. And yeah, I got so frustrated with myself. And I couldn't find, I went back to the DK mini box and could not find another brown that's this colour. I found a couple that was similar, but it wasn't quite right. I found one that was the same brown base, but it had like lots of speckles all over it. Honestly, I was so frustrated that I didn't know what to do. I found a 4-ply one, so I was thinking, oh, maybe I could hold it double, but because it's sort of at the part of your belly where you don't want to show it off, I didn't want to change the fabric because I thought it might draw people's attention more to my belly, and I really don't want to do that. So I caved yesterday and I've actually dyed up some more minis. So there is more of this colour available. It is currently drying and I have actually put it on the radiator. So when the radiator comes on tomorrow morning for like an hour, then hopefully it will be dry so that I can carry on knitting on it tomorrow morning. But we shall see. But yeah, so I have really enjoyed making it. It is so much fun. It is a lot easier than I thought. So you don't have lots of make one lefts or rights, but there are different increase options that are available. And actually it looks so much better than I thought. I don't know why. I kept putting this pattern off thinking, oh, it's going to look really horrible, but it looks amazing. I can definitely see more of this in the future. I love the shape of it. I love it basically. And it's a great way to use up scraps, minis. I am a bit anal. Once I've done the pattern repeat, I've then done it again. So you can see that actually, see, it's got the dark collar here and it goes all the way down to this ink, the second ink, and then it's the dark one again and then go down to the second ink. So hopefully where I think I'm going to finish the bottom of this one, so about here, I think I'm going to finish it on this one here. So I'm not going to do that one or that one because I think that's going to make it slightly too long. But I will try it on before I actually sort of get to here to do the, because this will effectively be the ribbing cast off bit. But we shall see. We shall see. But yeah, really, do you think if I keep holding it up it'll end up being the thumbnail? I don't know. We'll see. Maybe. But yeah, I am really enjoying that pattern. I definitely think it is a must for most people. I've got my little needle stoppers on there. I have ordered more of these, so they will be on the shop very, very soon. But yeah, so that is my stripes pattern. I'm just going to leave it there. I will pop it away in a bit. Podcast to chaos at the end of it all. Anyway, so on to another whip. I have got this one. So this is living in my little grey girl bag. I saw this fabric. I think there was like a podcaster who lives in Canada somewhere. I saw this fabric years ago, or a couple of years ago, and then I think it was last autumn, maybe. I think it was last autumn. I saw that the little grey girl had this fabric in her shop, and it is like rainbow. So you've got one side which is the warmer colours and one side which is the cooler colours. And I loved it. And I knew I wanted some of the fabric, but I couldn't justify like £25 of postage for one bag. So when the little grey girl came out with it, I was like, I've got to grab one. And it is a lovely little bag, and I love the little handle. And again, I can't do this because I'm not quite coordinated enough, but if you could knit and walk or whatever, you could have this on your wrist. It's lovely. Anyway, so I am knitting with, so I'm using up some of my stash, which I'm really pleased about. This is a self-striping skein, which is from, have I got the label? No, I think I've thrown the label. I won't have thrown a label. Where have I put the label? I don't know where I put the label. That must be upstairs in my office. But yeah, so this is Giddy Yarns Mycelium colourway. It's beautiful. And I am obviously knitting some socks with it. So I only got a 50 gram mini, 50 gram skein, and with that you get the contrast mini. I don't think you get the mini with the 100 gram. I think you can add it, but I'm not sure if you do. But anyway, so I am making some socks. So what I've done, or what I usually do, is with the 50 gram ones, I cast on and I do, for me, I like the twisted rib, either 1x1 or 2x2. This is just 1x1. Knit the sock, and I have some scales that are usually next to me, and I just tend to weigh the leftover quite often, and then all I do is I keep knitting until there's like 50 grams left, and then cut it, and then I cast on for the next one. I don't know what I was thinking with this one. Honestly, I have no idea. I'm a little bit annoyed with myself for it. So I've managed to wind off some of the yarn, and the ball that's left, so this one weighs 25 or 26 grams, so there's quite a bit left, but I don't know why I wound it off. I don't know, because what I've realised is I have cut at the wrong point. So I like my self-striping to be matchy-matchy where I can. So it starts off with this cream colour, and for some reason I've got the cream colour here, but it's not going to be enough to make that big of a stripe. It's going to be quite a short stripe. So yeah, I don't know how the second sock's going to go. I'm a little bit annoyed with myself. I don't know what I was thinking. But I'd wound it off, so I still got a bit more to knit on this one. And I did that. So annoyed with myself. So annoyed with myself for that. But yeah, that is what I did. And those of you that know that I use DPNs, I have lots of these like little DPN cozies. Again, if I open that up, it is by Ellie at Craft House Magic, and I've got quite a few of hers now. So I've got this one, I've got this one, I've got this one. They all just sit up there. They have got needles in them, so you can't like bend them, but they are bendy when you haven't got any needles in them. I know I've got another one. It's probably in with Tom's socks, isn't it? Yeah, I got another one. But anyway, so yeah, I use the DPN cozy, so I'm just going to pop that back in. Mainly because I use the sharp DPNs from Higher, and they're very sharp, which means they quite easily pluck the yarn. So I don't want to pluck the yarn, and I want to keep my project safe where I can. So there is that one. And I'm going to let my cat back in because he's obviously gone out the back and now he's stood on my window meowing at me. Not that I can hear him because the window's closed. So bear with me. Okay, so I've let Bennett in. He is around. I don't know how much of this episode we'll get through without too many more interruptions. But we're going to go for it. We'll see what happens. So my next whip is living in this gorgeous penguin bag from the Fibre Fox. It is, I believe her mum makes all of the project bags, but look how cute this is. And I feel like it's very apt because we've had a lot of, well, so we've had a lot. We've had a bit of snow here in Norfolk, but not too much. I know the rest of the country has had a lot more than us. But yeah, it's very cute. It's quite apt as well. So I decided that I wanted to make a shawl. And again, I am using yarn from my stash. It is mostly, it is 4-ply yarn, and it is some spare skeins, some test skeins that I had from when I was dyeing up my advent for last year. And I am making the Garter Abyss shawl. So it's not in colour because I tend not to print my patterns in colour. Let me see if I can fold this down. There we go. That might be the most iconic image of the shawl. But yeah, so I'll show you the colours that I'm doing. So it is a pattern by Stephen West because I love a Westknits pattern. And it calls for 5 skeins of 4-ply yarn. I have done the first colour, and I did cut it off a little bit soon, but oh well. So this is the first colour. I love that green. Anyway, if you've been here before, you'll know that I like green. This is the second colour, so you can sort of see that they work quite well together. Oops. This is the third colour, and then I'm fading it into a sort of blue type colour. So, sorry, they're messy cakes because my winder wasn't playing ball. So they're 3. I don't know if I'm going to be able to hold all 5 up. This is how professional podcasters do it, right? So these are the 5 colours that I've chosen from my advent. They were days 2 on this green end over here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Days 2 to 6. Why did I have to count? Can I not do math? I can't do math. But anyway, so these are the colours that I've chosen to do my shawl in. So this is going to be the outside colour and this is obviously the inside colour. I am not going to put them... Yeah, I'm going to put them back in because otherwise I will make them even messier. So they're the colours that I'm doing. And I have popped this onto a longer needle just so I can sort of show you what it looks like as to what I've done. But it's still not long enough because it is quite a long shawl. So let me see. That's probably going to be the better end to show you. So if I stretch this out, hopefully you'll be able to see. So that's sort of what it is, but I have got a lot more here that you can't quite see. It is obviously garter wrist, it's all garter stitch, it's quite an easy knit. One of the things I am a little bit annoyed about is if I turn it round and onto the wrong side, I find that I like this fade better. So because it's garter stitch, you could get away with wearing it whichever way round. So I think I'm going to carry on doing it the way I am. And then what I'm going to do is probably wear it the wrong way round, because I prefer this fade. I think it is a lot smoother in transition rather than that way. It looks a bit stripy. And if you do look at the pattern that he's done, a lot of them are quite stripy. I don't think they use like solid colours. I think they mainly use like variegated colours, so therefore it fades a bit better. Maybe that's my fault, just picking the wrong colours, I don't know. But on this side, you can see that it fades a bit nicer. I like this fade, I like this way that it does it. So if you are going to make the... if you do decide that you want to make this shawl, I would try and fade it so you do it on the wrong side, if that makes sense. So you do the wrong side on the right side. Makes sense? Basically, I change all the colours at this end, which makes that the right side, but change the colours at the wrong end, and it will make this the right side. Hopefully, you're following what I mean. And it makes sense. Oh my gosh. Hopefully that makes sense. But yeah, I am looking forward to getting this done. I think I counted up the stitches last night and I'm about 600 stitches. It is a massive shawl. It even says on the 10th repeat, if you do it exactly as per the pattern, it's 1019 stitches to cast off. I don't know how many stitches I will have. I think I'm just going to keep going until I get bored with the colour, then change it, keep going until I get bored with the colour, and then change it. And that's basically so then I can use up a little bit more of the yarn. I wish that I'd used this one up a little bit more, because I've got like, I think this is about 31 grams that's left, and I don't know what I'm going to use it for. But yeah, I may bring these as kits to the shop at some point. I don't know. If it's something you'd like to see, let me know. Yeah, let me know. But yeah, that's basically what I've been working on. So this is a brand new project. This is a brand new project. The socks were a brand new project. And I'm on to my second attempt of my advent pattern design. So those of you that do know, I do occasionally sell my own patterns. They are on both Etsy, Ravelry and my website, which is bluefernyarns.co.uk. And I am designing another pattern for this year's advent. It is completely different style and I am very much enjoying how it's working out. So I've actually got 4 new projects on the go since I last spoke to you. I got really excited about casting on new projects. I just wanted to have something else. I wanted one that was a bit mindless, so the Garter Abyss shawl kind of works for that one. I wanted to use up some more of my minis and my stash and scraps and test dyes. I do a lot of my test dyeing on mini skeins, sometimes 4-ply, sometimes DK, sometimes a mixture of both, just to see how they work up. And yeah, so I've got an abundance of minis, an abundance of yarn, full stop, which is quite nice. I enjoy it. Tom might have to move out to the garage very soon because I've got so much yarn in this house. We shall see. I'm so glad that he doesn't watch this because he'll be like, excuse me, you're going out to the garage. And Mum, if you're watching this, don't tell him I said that. If you don't want to stick around for this show news, shop news type thing, don't worry about it. I will not be offended. It's lovely to have you along. Please do like this video, and if you're not a subscriber, please do subscribe if you would like to see any more Blue Fern yarn knitting crochet projects in the future. It's not been very crochet heavy this time, but hopefully it will be next time. we shall see. And then, so shop news. I have got, or show news, should we do first? This weekend, the 18th and 19th of March, is the East Anglian Yarn Festival. And I am so excited. It is my local one, so it's not far from where I live actually, so it's going to be really, really nice to sleep in my own bed at the end of a show. That's fantastic. So that's going to be a lot of fun. There are a few tickets still left. There's quite a number of them have already sold out, so if you do want to come along, please do grab your ticket to avoid any sort of disappointment of not being able to be entered into the building or anything like that. There are, I believe, about 80 different vendors there, so there is a lot of yarn, a lot of knitting projects, knitting notions, crochet notions. I believe there's going to be some pattern designers there. There's even workshops and things like that this year, which is amazing. We are over at the Norfolk Showground. It's just going to be a massive, massive venue, and it is going to be so much fun. Very much looking forward to it, and I hope to see you there. My next show after that is 2 weeks later, which is the 1st and 2nd of April, and that is Spring into Wool in Leeds. And I was there last year for the first time ever, and that was a lot of fun. I got to meet some very lovely people. That is at I believe it's the Leeds Grammar School, and again, tickets are available if you want to come along to that one. It should be a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to that. My mum is actually helping me out at both of those shows, so usually it's Tom, but because I've already taken up all of his annual leave with other shows, Mum has very kindly offered to help me. So if you do come along, you'll get to meet my mum too. Hopefully you'll come by, say hello, and have a squish of yarn. Squishing yarn's free, right? So just come along, squish some yarn, say hello. And please do introduce yourself. If you go by Crafty McCraftface, I don't know if that is a name out there, and I'm really sorry if it is. If you go by Crafty McCraftface on Instagram, please do introduce yourself and say that is your page, because a lot of you are so amazing and I talk to you quite regularly, but I know you as Crafty McCraftface rather than, oh, hi, my name is, I'm going to say Susan. I know so many Susans, so I'm really sorry if this offends you. I hope it doesn't. But hi, my name's Susan. I'll look at you and go, hi, and then go, I'm not really sure who you are. So please do let me know who you are, say hello, and squish some yarn. It's one of my favourite things, it's just squishing yarn. Okay, so on to the shop news. This one's very short. So the next shop update is on the Thursday, the 29th of March, and that will be for the May pre-orders that will go live. And again, that will be for the sock sets, that will be for the Norfolk palette sets, and all the imagery will be shown on social media for the inspiration colours. I'll probably have a lot more news to share about advents too. I haven't quite got all the details in place. I have thought of a theme that I'm going for, and I'm very excited about it. I'm going to go and grab myself a cup of tea because I forgot to get one while before I started recording, and I drank my other one just before, so I definitely am in need of a cup of tea. Hopefully you have liked this video. Please do give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button if you want to see more. It's been lovely talking to you, and I shall see you next time. Bye!